You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 185.2.11. Ryan Vanskyock reacts to Elwood's sectional draw.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, basketball fans, as we look at the Elwood Panthers sectional draw and head coach Ryan Vanskyock's reaction to it. Of course, it's not been an outstanding season for the Elwood Panthers, just 5 wins on the year. However, since February 10th, Elwood is 3-3, and a couple of those losses were very competitive losses. The one thing that you keep hearing as this sectional draw came out is Elwood is the one team that probably is not a championship contender. However, do not sleep on the Panthers. They are a dangerous team, at least for a game or two in this sectional. Elwood closes its regular season with a couple of games this weekend. First against 9-12 Morristown in the final home game of the season for Elwood. Then on Saturday, they go to Knox to take on the 3-17 Redskins, looking for wins number 6 and number 7. In the sectional next Tuesday, Elwood will take on Frankton at 7:30 in the second quarterfinal at Frankton. Frankton beat Elwood 53-22 on January 31st. Early this week, Elwood call leader and Tipton Tribune sports editor Michelle Garmon got Coach Vanskyock's reaction to the sectional draw and talked about some other stuff as well.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
You are in a loaded sectional, but but your team has to enjoy or embrace the underdog role.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when you look at it, really, really good coaches, really good teams. We feel like we've only had all of our players for 3 games this season, and it's been the last 3. So we feel like we're still gelling, even though it's towards the end of the season. And we feel like if we can put together a full game, that we have a chance to maybe go upset and shock somebody. So that's our mindset, is we're just going to go play and see what happens.
Last year, I mean, you came out and you gave Tipton everything they could handle for a half.
Yep.
And then the year before, you gave Taylor everything they could handle for basically almost 3 quarters and 3/4 until about the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's been great for us. Our kids definitely need a lot of preparation to prepare. It stinks for us to have a game on Friday, Saturday, but we've already seen Frankton before, which helps a little bit, and kind of the things that we struggled with them. And again, I think us preparing for them a little bit more will help us. Coach Brobson's a really good dude and one heck of a coach. Frankton's lucky to have that guy. And he always has his teams well prepared and ready to go. So we know we're just going to have to match the intensity and take care of the basketball. I feel like if we could take care of the ball this time and maybe limit some of the threes. They hit 11 threes the first game we played them. You never know. Definitely gives us a better chance to maybe go out and maybe pull an upset.
Talking to Coach Brobson and talking to Coach Hawkins of Tipton, and I think even maybe Coach Cherry, with Frankton hosting it, that gym's kind of smaller. It's an older feel. I think that my guess is because of how good the talent is and how tough it is, the atmosphere should be electric.
I'm definitely excited. I know Brent's always wanted to host one of those, and I always supported him. And we kind of went in that meeting with the other ADs and we are going to take a financial hit, maybe a little bit, but man, the atmosphere for high school basketball players is going to be something special that week. So I'm just glad the other ADs kind of looked at what we were saying and decided to have it there in that venue. Coach Brobson does an awesome job of hosting. I can't imagine what it's going to look like next week. I mean, he's going to go top of the top, and everything's going to be perfect, and it's just going to be to me, a special week for Indiana high school basketball players because that environment's going to be something special.
How do you see the from your point when you look? What did you? I mean, you were actually in a sectional that there was not really a great draw to be had. I guess if you draw the bye
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
don't have to play 2 games, but I mean, there is there's not a gimme game.
No, and that's like being a basketball guy. I mean, this is an awesome sectional to be part of. Like you said, Coach Hawkins, Coach Cherry, Coach Monell, Coach Bropson, just unbelievable coaches in the sectional that does a tremendous job with their teams. And it's going to be exciting to see. I mean, the top dog is Tipton. I mean, they've won the sectional last couple of years. I know we're in a different one now, but they've been the team to beat in the area for a while now. Lapel's done some really great things, and so has Frankton. So I think it's going to be a dogfight, and whoever comes out standing at the end of that week, man, definitely deserves it.
Talk a little bit about the Panthers, your team. Like you said, uh, it's been a really tough year. You start out, don't have a key point guard. The other point guard gets injured, so you're without 2 point guards. You kind of get them back. Jaden Mullins gets hurt and misses a few games. I'm guessing Schuler missed a little bit more, and of course you had illness going around. So tell us how hard it is, or how you've seen the progression of how hard it has been for your team to progress this season.
Yeah, it's been probably the hardest year I've had coaching in 20 years. I mean, it's just been a roller coaster ride. Like every day you come into practice and you don't have all your guys, so you're just trying to think of, man, what could we be? Bryce has been out a lot. Cam Galeos has been out a lot. Cam's probably our best player. Jaden Mullins is still trying to come back fully from the injury that he sustained. And then one of our other point guards, Ethan Cass, has decided to quit a couple of weeks ago. So we lost him. So it's just been a roller coaster of a mess. Um, but I feel like our kids are starting to gel. We're seeing some good things out of them. Uh, and as coaches, we're still trying to find that best lineup and group. I mean, the problem that we face is a lot of these teams do that November, December, and feel like they're starting to gel around Christmas time or after Christmas. We just had all of our team basically middle of February, so we got about a week and a half, 2 weeks to try to figure out who gels together, who works best together, to try to put the best product on the floor. So we're excited. We've had some really good kids step up. Jackson Gordon's had a really good year shooting the basketball for us. Connor Wooten starting to come off the bench and get us quality minutes. And then when you have Bryce, Corbin, Etchison, Mullen, uh, we feel like we have the capabilities of beating some of these really good teams. We're just going to have to play great basketball for a full 32 minutes.
Do you guys play tonight too, or is it just Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, we play Friday at Morristown, so I'm gonna go scout Frankton tonight, and then Saturday, Knox needed a game and we needed a game, so we're gonna go drive 2 hours and go play at Knox on Saturday. So it'll be interesting.
Is that going to be a night game?
It'll be a 3 o'clock game our time, so they're an hour different. So it'll be middle of the afternoon, and then when we actually get back, I'm gonna make the kids stay, and we're gonna watch some tape on Frankton, and then we'll have Monday prepare, and then Tuesday we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Now, Friday's game with Morristown, isn't that a home game?
Yep, that's a home
Okay.
game. It's be our senior night. We only have one senior in Jada Mullen, so be a special night for him, and hopefully a game our kids come out and play well.
What are you kind of looking for from them in the last these last 2 games of the regular season?
Well, we've really struggled shooting the basketball, and about the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've shot it well, but then our defense is starting to struggle. So, for me, I just want to see our kids play a complete game on both sides of the basket or on both sides on the floor. And if we can do that, I truly do think we can beat somebody. But if we only play great offense and don't play good defense, or vice versa, we're in trouble because we're not athletic as the other teams that we're going to be facing. So our kids understand that. They understand we got to dictate the tempo against these really good teams and make it kind of a bloodbath and really physical grind out game for us to have a chance to win. So those are some of the things that we're looking for these next two games going into Frankton on Tuesday.
And I know Frankton is a team that doesn't mind playing
Mm-hmm.
a slower paced game. So how critical is it to um, control tempo? I know it for you guys. That's been the big key for you. Your last 2 years in sectionals, you've been able to go in and at the start of games really control the tempo.
Yeah, that's probably the top thing for us is controlling the tempo. But by controlling the tempo against Frankton, we got to take care of the basketball. So where we got hurt the first game of the year and we got hurt in the years past since I've been here is they speed us up a little bit, and the pressure's not really crazy, but it's enough for our kids to like get their minds thinking, and they throw ill-advised passes and get sped up a little bit. And that's something we can't have where Franklin gets 8 or 10 points off turnover layups or shots around the rim. So for us, we got to do a great job of breaking the pressure and then being slow, running great offense to get a quality look. So it's big for us, and I feel like if we can really cut down those turnovers when the pressure comes and be smart offensively, it's going to give us a really good chance to stay in the basketball game.
Thank you so much to Coach Vanskyock for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. There's no doubt he has been one of the top 2 or 3 supporters of the Central Indiana Sports Report, and always love having him on the podcast. Also, thanks so much to Michelle. Again, I say it every single time because it's true. She is the best. Love having her as part of the podcast. And thank you for listening. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. We're going to start doing a lot of cool stuff over there with some videos and things like that. The more subscribers we can get, the better we feel about investing in that time. Even if you're subscribed on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, or Amazon, please go subscribe at our YouTube channel. Appreciate it as always. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.